Welcome back, everybody, to TIMBP Live. I am your host, Perry, from This Is My... Oh, I don't have... Oh, sorry about that. From This Is My Bourbon podcast, of course. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. Like the video as well on your way in. And thank you so much for being here. It is good to be with you on St. Patrick's Day Eve. Any excuse to spend an entire day drinking, I suppose. So, first of all, I hope you all are well. It's been a week. It's been a long week, and I'm ready to get into this, especially with some of my favorite beers. I mean, truth be told. But before we get too far, I want to say hello to everybody who's in the chat. Swan was first. He said none of these actually pair with Irish beers. It's the kind of positivity that I'm looking for here, Swan. Sugar Kitty's here. Hello, Sugar Kitty. Meow to you as well. Connor Kirkpatrick, what up? TIMBP, what up? Connor, good to see you. Stacy herself from 4 Leaf Whiskey. Woo! Tomorrow's your day. Tomorrow's your day, Stacy. Good to have you along. Mike Meyer, cheers, guys. Good to see you, Mike. MC Miss Emily is here. Hey, y'all, mash buttons. Mash them buttons, y'all. Do it. Biking Bourbon. Hello, Biking Bourbon. Howdy, everyone. Cheers, howdy, and cheers to you as well. So we really need an excuse to drink all day? Not necessarily, but, I mean, I can't imagine a good scenario if I were in your position where I would want to be riding my bike and drinking. However, I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. Swan's here. So I said that already. I said Swan's here. Some people do a sober January. I do a drunk March. Yeah. It's called Moist March, I guess. I don't know. Hey, let's run through some things real quick. If you haven't listened to this week's episode just yet, you should do so. It is a heck of a good time. Eric and I get to review the 2 newest releases from old Jack Daniels Tennessee Straight Whiskey. 10-year-old and 12-year-old. Really good stuff. We finally have our conversation on whether or not single barrels do still matter as well, which I think you're going to know. You're going to kind of understand or predict our answers of our argument. But regardless, it's fun. Yeah, it's a good time. I was on Jeff the Whack Attack and Kelsey and Darrell's stream last night over on Hello Again Whiskey Friends. We drank a bunch of Irish whiskey and it was a really good time. Go check that out. And then last but not least, support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. Little as $5 a month, bunch of bonus content over there. And you can leave the show itself a 5-star rating and review. I'm not sure how many people actually listen to the podcast on top of watching the live streams every Thursday evenings. But the podcast is really where things flourish. That's how we've gotten to this point, I suppose. Regardless, go check it out. Donnie the Linux Cat. Mash that like button, click subscribe, and ring that bell. And choose all so you get notifications and don't miss a thing. It was Whack, Sugar Kitty, and I was on Whiskey Friends. It was so much fun. I had such a great time hanging out with them. Oh, and also, you can support the show directly here on stream. If you want, it's our method of super chatting. It's called Snuffy Chats. You can head to the Stream Elements link. You get your little message up here on screen, too, just as a thank you. And we appreciate everybody who is here supporting the show and continues to support it from all corners of life. What is this random number that's texting me? Hold on. Sorry. our lawn guy. Just we adventuring tonight? Yes, we are adventuring tonight. Swan wants to know if anybody's upping Tony's snuffy chat, which is in reference to a couple weeks ago. Tony accidentally tipped $512, which was a mistake, but you know. But yes, John, we are adventuring tonight for sure. Also, I was preparing for this stream today, and I realized I don't have any green food coloring, so we're gonna stretch out most of this through the whole hour. Also, I got 3 beers I gotta drink, so. And the first one is going to be the Guinness. Going a little too fast at the beginning there. You know, I used to have an actual Guinness class, and I think when we moved, it got kind of lost in the move. Hey, I'm not upset about that. That's for an untrained gentleman, that's about as good as it gets. I want to give you an update too, because Donnie did ask, how is Papa Ritter's house? Mama and Papa Ritter are doing fine. I don't think I mentioned this, but thanks, Biking Bourbon. But even before the tree fell on their house with all the weather, they had some construction that was going on in their backyard, and so they already had some kind of like headaches and everything. Today, things have kind of started to mellow out a little bit for them. The backyard is finally getting put back together. They've got a fence that needs to go up as well. They had to build a retaining wall because most of their backyard was kind of eroding away. So today they had the construction guys, they had the roofer, they had the insurance adjuster, and somebody else that was there as well. So very busy, but they are doing much better. I appreciate you asking that as well. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. Tony Baravides. Also, I didn't say hello to you yet. Good to have you in the chat, buddy. Does Swan not Discord? Swan does indeed Discord. He is I Sit on Sofas on Discord, and he is in there now. And also, if you want to join our Discord chats, you can head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast and support the show. Everybody on Patreon gets access to the Discord. So, I am going to have a sip of this fantastic Guinness first to kick things off, to which I will say, Sláinte! I will be drinking so much Guinness this weekend. I got so much beer today at the old liquor barn. So plenty of good beer to be had over the next couple of days. So I said this last week. I'm following through on my commitment, and also just because I don't want to do the same thing every year when it gets to be St. Patrick's Day. Because also Eric has, of course, introduced the pairing side of things. And I do like pairing beers with whiskey. I figured, why not turn this in our direction and say, hey, what whiskey, or bourbon rather, pairs best with some Irish beer? And like I said, we're starting out with Guinness. And my first kind of inclination was just to go look for tasting notes, flavor profiles. I don't do flavor profiles as well with beer as I do with bourbon. However, it's all about working on it and developing those muscles, of course. But the flavor, well, we'll start with the aroma according to beerandbrewing.com. The aroma is sweet dark fruit character, cherry raisin, and roasty malt character with slight cocoa, chocolate, and coffee. A little sourness and subtle vanilla bean notes. Flavor light-bodied with some slight creaminess and sweetness give way to fairly aggressive bittering hops. Biking bourbon. I like the idea of 1910. I don't have any 1910 though. That's not the way I want to do my lawn, but anyway. But for the flavor, they say light-bodied with some slight creaminess and sweetness, giving way to fairly aggressive bittering hops. I don't get a lot of bitter hops, especially aggressive ones, on Guinness. But I do definitely find myself with the sweetness. I've paired this before, and weirdly toasted or heavily wine-influenced whiskey works well. Like black currant action. Nice. I wanted to go with some of the kind of fruitier notes that are in this and see if I can't find a good balance between or even try to like amplify some of the sweet berry fruity flavors that are in it. So this is one of the only ones where I actually have two that I'm trying to decide between. The other ones, I pretty much knew where I was going with it. And I if you remember from a couple of years ago, and they might still have it, I don't know, I didn't see it anywhere, but Guinness did a collaboration with Bulleit, and they're both distributed by Diageo, so it made sense. But they aged a bunch of Guinness in Bulleit barrels. So it would have been easy for me to go, oh, well, we're just going to do Four Roses. No, says I. I says, or it says Bulleit, I says Four Roses. Whatever. I messed up my bit. So I am trying the Four Roses small batch with this, but I am also trying, if I can get the cork out. Why does that fight me so bad? But I am also trying Jack Daniel's Bonded. So, while yes, the Four Roses does kind of characteristically have a more significant spice to it, there are still those undercurrents of sweetness, of berries, of kind of creaminess to it as well. And then Jack Daniel's is quite well known for their fruitiness on their whiskey. So I figured, why not see if these two things kind of work together? Sony Bag of Donuts, where's Eric? I switched today's Whiskey Mutant. Slancha, good to see you, buddy. Eric he has not been getting home until like at least 8 o'clock most days recently, so he has not been able to join lives, but I am keeping my fingers crossed that sooner than later we will see that happen. But he's busy. I'm busy. I've been working the same schedule since September, and I'm busy. I could just sit here and drink Guinness all day, honestly. But no. We must progress. We must move on. And so I'm going to start with the Four Roses small batch, seeing how this pairs together. I suppose I'll take a sip of the whiskey first. Or at least nose it. Oh, man. As far as the notes on the nose between the two, they do seem to complement each other quite well. The Four Roses, for whatever reason, I'm getting more barrel influence on the nose tonight. than I normally do, so he's on the sprint to the end of the school year. That means after school activities 7 out of every 5 days. Also true. I think their kids are all doing at least 3 activities basically throughout the week. So, yes, Eric is busy. All right, sip of whiskey. All right. I'm losing the whiskey, which is not a good sign. I think that immediately I'm noticing and feeling like the Four Roses just needs more proof. I don't have anything nearby Four Roses wise that is of a higher proof, or else I would go for it. But attempt number 1, no bueno. So we will move on to attempt number 2. I'm losing the malt on the nose with the Jack Daniels, and I am gaining a lot more corn. I'm getting a lot more of like mashiness with it. Interestingly enough. All right, sip of the Jack. And sip of the Guinness. Oh! Now that's nice. Oh, it brings out a savory note that wasn't there before. It really reminds me of like soft pretzels, interestingly enough. Let me get caught up on the chat. Tony says, this is my Guinness podcast. Hey, don't tempt me with a good time. Don Nishida, I forgot about the time change and you're on an hour earlier for me. I am very sorry, but it's good to have you here. Someone says, I'm going to try this with Chattanooga port tomorrow. High malt with high malt and sweet port to add some depth. I like that. That's a really good idea. Definitely between the two, I am preferring the Jack Daniels. Also, I don't know if I'm really feeling this playlist. We'll come back to it if I think that particular song was even already on that playlist. Ooh, this sounds interesting. How long is it? 3 hours. My goodness. Tavern music. I am in that mindset of like, I don't know, like my spring energy, my energy for spring is not what it was like a couple weeks ago, because, you know, a couple weeks ago it was like, oh, things are like returning to normal and flowers are blooming and the sun's out more. And, you know, Kentucky, Lexington at the very least, we've had such bad weather over the past few weeks. And we just had another cold snap, which again is going to hit us tomorrow into the weekend. And I'm tired of feeling like we're in this endless winter. And so like part of me is like, I just want to go to like a dimly lit cabin. I just want to drink whiskey and drink coffee and hang out and just enjoy myself. Like I'm feeling more hibernate-y than I was at the beginning of fake spring. Are you recording an Irish episode tonight, John? The sun is out, flowers are blooming, then Kentucky is all like, pull it! It is true, though. I am... what you are hearing, too, my... Okay, Unabomber. That's a really good joke, Donnie. I appreciate that. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. What you're kind of hearing with my voice, too, sometime before the end of the month. Gotcha. But these are just residual side effects of ongoing allergies that I cannot friggin' fight. Or I cannot seem to win against, I suppose, is a better argument, or a better turn of phrase. They have just absolutely kicked my butt. I spend the better half, or a better half of the better half of the day. I can't speak tonight either, which is really going great. But I spend the better half of the day fighting a cough and fighting drainage. And then finally around like 5 or 6, it starts to clear up. And then I get sometimes to hang out with my friends on the internet and do fun things here. So I can put my good rested voice to good use by continuing to do my broadcast announcer voice. I just got done listening to, I'm going to talk about it more on next week's episode. But I'm really getting into like modern reinterpretations of radio plays in terms of like scripted podcasts. And of course, this would be where I would find myself currently. But I just got done listening to the first 2 seasons, the only 2 seasons so far of the Batman audio adventures as produced by HBO, with Jeffrey Wright as Batman, and absolutely phenomenal. So good. But my when I speak, there's an announcer character, a couple of announcer characters, and so when I speak and I'm doing something like this, my voice tends to go a little more theatrical and a little more pronounced. Like, look at me. Things are happening on your screen and in your ear holes. David says I should catch up with the Tips and Bits channel live on stream. Not a good idea. I'm pretty caught up. I saw the butter. So, Donnie the Linux Cat says, eat more spicy food. I would be okay with that. I haven't had a whole lot of spicy food recently. And truth be told, too, I've just been a man about it. Like, just a man who's like, no, I can tough it out. I'm just not gonna deal with it. It's fine. I'm gonna be fine. Like, I could have taken Mucinex or Dayquil or whatever the crap. I don't know. Yo, we got a bot on Twitch. Hi, I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewer, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than a competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on. Incredibly flexible and convenient order management panel. Everything is in your hands. Turn it on/off/customize. Go to dogehype.com. How about no? Absolutely not. I refuse. Also, if I keep doing that, my voice is going to deteriorate. Deteriorate. No, we have fun here. Things is gonna get rowdy tonight, I feel like. Oh, Guinness, how I love thee. I do. Bot love. Love me a good bot. Maybe if somebody text Patrick, see if we can get General Armageddon back in here or whatever the crap. very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Freaking love me some Looney Tunes, man. Is this music working? I don't feel like it's working either. I like the tavern/inn music. I think that's kind of nice. But Enchanted Fantasy Adventure music? It's not royalty free though. Ooh, Tavern Dance? Hold on. I don't know if this is royalty free. Ah, screw it. Who cares? I'm not exactly monetized anyway, so. No what, Donnie? What are you saying no to? I say, I do love me some Fargo Leghorn. Is there not Irish jig for tonight? I like this. There's also, I just passed it, Irish folk. Here, let's decide together. Lively Tap. Oh, that's only 3 minutes, 59 seconds. I need something longer than that. I also think we heard it already. Let's stick with Tavern Dance for now. Oh, was the music working? No, I got you now. Yeah, this is much, much better. Putting me in the right headspace, I will say. Pairing number one, Jack Daniel's bonded with Guinness Draft Stout. Apologies for the lackluster music, by the way. I didn't vet this before I came in, so. Am I probably going to get a copyright claim? Yeah, definitely. But honestly, I don't know, man. What's it matter? Lord of the Dance! Be a good weekend. That's a fun thing about these Thursday night streams. I can kind of like set my expectations for the rest of the weekend. And right now my expectations are high. So we shall continue on with this evening. I'm going to go grab my next beer as well. Don't go nowhere. The refrigerator's literally over there. What, 6 or 7 feet from me? I just have to stand up. Told you. Told you I was going to be right back. As long as work doesn't completely destroy my soul tomorrow, this weekend should be good. I feel that. I got 4 hours of work tomorrow, and then I'm scot-free. I, for one, am happy tomorrow is Friday and St. Patrick's Day. Oh, yeah. If there's some kind of like espresso and Guinness cocktail, let me know in the chat because that is going to be my morning. And we are recording tomorrow too. So When Perry stands up, does Chad have to drink? Yes, he does. Somebody text Chad and let him know he has to have a drink. Because he's not watching. I know what he's about. He's not watching tonight. Okay. All right, let's drink more cereal water. Dublin iced coffee. Heck yeah. Is that really what it's called? If that's legitimately what it's called, that's going to make searching for it super, super easy. The Malone's Dark Irish Espresso Martini recipe. That's what the Google machine called it. I don't know why I read it that way, John. I'm really sorry. I don't think you're a big dumb hick. But there's something about the mistyping there that made me giggle. All right, staying within the Guinness family. This one was actually, brewed within the confines of the motherland. Not my motherland. But this is Lucy's preferred Irish beer. So I figured I would take the time to do that, but Harp. Look at that autofocus. Because that's how my degenerate fingers wrote it. There you go. You got the logo or the URL in the Discord. Awesome. If you want access to the Discord, head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. All right, so as you can tell, the Harp is significantly lighter than the Guinness is. So we're going to refer back to our tasting notes, and this comes from beeradvocate.com. They say the taste is mildly weedy with bright top notes, a sort of lemony freshness and slight bitterness. Low carbonation and medium light mouthfeel, creating a very refreshing beer that doesn't taste watered down. I think I'm going to go... Whew. Yeah. A bright, fruity, full of flavor and character pour. Weller Antique 107. Old Weller Antique 107. Also, Darrell Stewart, the Whiskey Saint, is here. Darrell, it is so good to see you, man. Thank you so much again for having me on Hello Again Whiskey Friends last night, getting to hang out with you guys, drink some really good Irish whiskey, just kind of catch up after not having spoken a whole lot over the past year. But guys, go and subscribe to Hello Again Whiskey Friends if you haven't already. If you're subscribed here, you're probably subscribed there as well. Because you like happy dads. Which I think we all are. Regardless. Good to have you, Darrell. Ooh, the music's loud. I feel like I was fighting with it for a little bit. I am so sorry. All right, so mildly weedy beer. Figure we go with a wheated bourbon. I mean, why not? It's right there. Right freaking there, man. I honestly have never realized how light Harp actually is. It's a very lightly colored beer. Almost said whiskey. Oh, it's a good lager. Oh, it's so full-bodied up front. It goes a little bit cereal water on the back end of the palate, but just overall, what a great beer Harp is. Oh, it's one of those where it makes you feel like you're just drinking a beer. Donnie, drop it in the, oh no. Drop it in the What You've Been Drinking channel. Oh, that carbonation. I don't get the hiccups very often. When I do, they piss me off. And I fight very, very hard to curb them. But I think I did it. I think I'm victorious once again. Wanted to compare the color between these two. They're not entirely dissimilar. Not too far off at all, by any means. All right. We're going to compare the nose. I'm acting like I've had this whole thing, this whole system set up the entire time. I genuinely have not. I'm flying by the seat of my pants, just like everything else that I do with TIMBP. So. Oh! What? Hold on. What is that? What has it done to the nose? Tell me, oh great whiskey spirits. Tell me right now. No, it turned the nose into like. So I smelled the harp first, and then I went to the Weller Antique, and it gave it this like. Oh my gosh! It gave it this like oatmeal frosted cookie thing, but there's something darker. There's something else about it that I can't quite pick up on. Dad, I don't know that song. Papa Ritter's here, everybody. But there's a fresh baked breadiness to it. Yep. Pops is coming in with mutant energy. BME, big mutant energy. Eric, that's a shirt if you ever needed one. All right. Comparison. Pairing. Comparing. I don't know that Elton John tune. I'm very sorry. Man, Weller Antique is so good. I want that shirt. Hashtag big mutant injury. Oh. That is so nice. It becomes like a cornbread waffle. Specifically a waffle, not a pancake. A waffle. I know the name of the song, I guess I don't know the tune. Papa Ritter, everybody was asking too. Donnie was asking how the house was as well. We got some very concerned viewers and listeners with you guys. So, all the positive energy for the Ritters. Man, that is such a good pairing. All right. I like this in particular better than I do the Jack Bonded with the Guinness, which is great in its own right. Between the energy and the music, my Northwestern European mutt jeans are trying to get hyped. Dude, get hyped, man. Twitch bot with the $5.12. Snuffy chat saying Slancha. Slancha Twitch bot. Oh, that's incredible. Man, I'm trying to process this as get hyped, not wiped. There we go. That's another mutant t-shirt. That again is like this savory soft pretzel note on the back end. But where it's kind of like started out. Ooh, Tony, I know that one. It's been 7 hours and 16 days since you took your love away. I go out every night, sleep all day, just to give your love away. Poperator says, love you all. The adjuster was here today. The house is still livable and fixable. It's going to be a process, but we'll be good. The retaining wall is almost finished, and the fence should be up by mid-April. There we go. That's basically the update that I gave everybody, too. So, regardless. Okay, so the... I'm having a good time. Antique 107 and Harp. Again, back end gets a little bit savory, but on the front end, it's this floral bouquet that gets kind of like toned down by the alcohol that's present. I gotta shave my head. Oh, so I can be Sinead. You know Prince wrote that song, right? I like the Prince version better than the Sinead version, personally. But I'm a bigger fan of Prince than I am Sinead O'Connor. So. Nothing Compares to You is such a great song. Dang. I go out every night and sleep all day, just to give your love away. Since you've been gone, I can do whatever I want. I can see whomever I choose. No one likes Sinead. Chris Cornell's version was amazing indeed. Are there any big Sinead fans at this point? I don't know. Prince doesn't fit the theme. You are right. Sinead O'Connor does fit the theme. But Prince did write the song initially. You don't like Sinead? Again, apparently there's a big anti-Sinead O'Connor movement. So, I don't know. I highly recommend this pairing. I think that if you are going to do anything that still feels remotely American whiskey or bourbon-y for St. Patrick's Day, maybe you don't like Irish whiskey that much and you want to try something in the same realm as, you know, what you're familiar with. Antique 107, Weller Antique 107 and Harp Lager. What a fantastic pairing. Oh my gosh. Anyone heard of Mott the Hoople? You mean all them young dudes? Hello again, whiskey friends. Hello, Jeff Wack. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you again so much. You and Darrell have been in the chat tonight. It was so much fun hanging out with you guys last night, and thank you for sharing such incredible whiskey, too. Lots of folks didn't like her after the Pope picture thing, right? Or is there a new controversy? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I often wonder if Jeffrey Wack has an automation built in where every time he enters chat, his tagline rips out. Could be. Could be. Dad, yes, I do have your Jameson that you let me borrow last year. I'm looking at it right there. We will get it to you before you have a drink tomorrow, I will say. You didn't like her before the Pope picture thing. That's the most Jeffrey Wack thing ever. Because he types out his message every time. Oh. Jeff, if you watch on mobile, like on your iPhone, you could... I'll get it to you, Dad. But if you're like watching on your iPhone, you know, you can build a shortcut into your keyboard where you could type, you know, HAWF, and it will just pop out "Hello again, whiskey friends" for you. You don't have to like type it through and everything. And actually, if you're on a Mac and you have an iPhone, maybe it's the same for Microsoft devices as well. I truly don't know, but the shortcut the shortcut settings do transfer over to your Mac as well, which I discovered after I got this computer, which I love. So, but if you watch on mobile, you can add people and get their attention too. That is very true. It's all the same with an Android/Google phone. Google phone. Oh, did her son commit suicide? That's so sad. Hey. Support mental health initiatives. Support protecting people. Today has not been a very good day in Kentucky for supporting Kentucky people. So. You type out the names as well. You can at people on iPhone, you just don't get autocomplete. That's true. That's very true. Man, we are 10 minutes out from 9 o'clock. Hashtag support mental health indeed. That's just going to stay up there the rest of the stream. Hashtag support mental health. Indeed, indeed. He was inpatient and they lost him. That's horrible. Ugh. Ooh, speaking of hashtag support mental health, who watched season 3, episode 1 of Ted Lasso? So good! Oh, so good. My favorite show, and I've said this multiple times, my favorite show of all time is Ted Lasso. It has heart, it has comedy, it has a message of supporting, and not just mental health, male mental health, which is such an important thing that we do not stop talking about, supporting men in their mental health crises, because guys have a really hard time talking about it. So mental health is a huge thing, and if you are dealing with things that are out of your control, seek help, and also know that you have a strong community here too. How do you say overtime in Gaelic? Couldn't tell you. Jeff says, thank you for coming on last night, Perry. That was a blast. Jeff, thank you again so much for having me on last night. That was, such a great evening. I had so much fun last night. John's headed out. Gents and gals, it's been real, but it's bedtime for kiddos. Did I watch the last episode of the show Dan and I were talking about? Yes. Pop Ritter's talking about The Last of Us, the newest HBO show. Not the newest, but the newest hit HBO show, I suppose, with Pedro Pascal. Yes, I did finish the show, or the season, and anybody who knows the game, or anybody who's watched the show, I will just provide this insight, and I will say, you haven't seen The First of Us yet. You've seen The First of Us, you just didn't realize it. What do I pour now? Swan, you need to pour some of that Stag Junior pick that I'm buying off of you. Stuff it down with brown. There we go. Except don't do that, because men, we are allowed to have feelings and talk about our feelings as well. If you know us Ritters, you know that we are huge supporters of mental health. Amen to that. Whiskey Uncensored says, this dude again? Ben, it's good to have you in the chat, buddy. I hope you're well, man. I don't want to lose the game, Papa Ritter, but I guess I did. It's in the other room. Swan, what do you... Ooh. Do you have any early times bottled in bond? If you have some of that in here, go for it. I need you to try, Swan. The monster that is our Turkey 101 finished with French oak chips bottle. Because it is bananas. All humans have important emotions. Yes, I completely agree. It just seems that we have Tullamore Du Phoenix. Yeah, go for it. Why not? I don't disagree with you, Emily. I'm sorry. Oh, Swan, come get some turkey. Dude, I don't know what you're doing tomorrow. Come record with me and Eric. How many chips and how long? Ben, they were pretty small, about that big. I think my camera focused on it. Had them in there for about 2 weeks. And basically it just kind of coated the bottom quarter inch of the bottle. But it's so good, dude. It's so it's so good. Papa Ritter could do a drop in. Come stop by and say hey, Dad. I don't even know what we were recording tomorrow. Toasted char or raw? I think toasted, because I'm pretty sure that these were initially intended for beer brewing. I'm pretty sure. But I had a bunch of them. Yeah, where is General Armageddon? I miss him. Where is Skeletor? Donnie asking the important questions. Tony says, I have emotions and I am a meat popsicle. It looks like a molar. Yeah, it does kind of look like a really, really horribly just eroded molar. I don't know. Doesn't look good. Meth addict molar. There we go. That's what we were looking for here. All right, well, we are approaching 9 o'clock, but here's the thing. I still got one more beer that I was going to include in this pairing. Flight thing. I don't know. So I'm going to go grab that real quick after I finish this beer, though. So. After or overtime indeed, Donnie. Now this was potentially the pairing that I was most excited about. Ooh, Ben's got Madness tomorrow. Oh. On St. Patty's Day? Tony, text or message Chad and say that he needs a drink. I'll say this, Ben, I do not envy you. But Mad Madness is such a fun time. You know what this whole, evening has made me realize? I do like a good Irish car bomb, but heard we can't call it that anymore. It's now the Dublin Drop. Yes. I try not to virtue signal, but the name Irish car bomb is hugely offensive to the Irish. So maybe don't call it that. I like Dublin Drop. I think that's much better. James Taylor, one of our newest patrons over on Patreon, says, cheers, Perry. Cheers to you, James. Good to have you, man. Hope you're well. My blanket was falling down. Now, I want to say this, too, and you know, part of the reason that I'm the most, or was kind of the most excited for this, was because this is the style of beer that I think I attach to first the most, aside from wonder why it's offensive. But so it's Smithwick's Red Ale, which on its own is a great beer, and you know, I think back to like Kentucky Ale from Lexington Brewing Company, which, you know, they make bourbon barrel ale in Kentucky Ale. But they also make Town Branch, which is fine. The bourbon itself is fine, but, you know, they've got other whiskeys that are better. Anywho. Oh, trying to find a glass that's clean enough around here. But anyway. I love red ales. I really, really do. And the tasting notes on this one, too, I think got me the most excited for the pairing here. So Smithwick's Red Ale, the distinctive ruby red color makes it unmistakably Smithwick's. With a refreshingly balanced taste, this is a blend of mild hops, sweet malt, and roasted barley. The gentle bitterness of the hops is perfectly complemented by the sweet, malty notes. Town Branch Malt is very good. I do not disagree with that, Swan. One of my favorite whiskeys I've ever had. And also my best bourbon of 2022. I am going to be pairing with Smithwick's Red Ale. And that is the Parker's Heritage Collection. 13 and 15-year-old blend. They're double-barreled whiskeys. 132.2 proof. Just one of the best whiskeys ever. Overtime, indeed. I'm good until... So, I don't know if I've talked about this too much, but I usually record... I usually record another podcast with my friend Art and their podcast about Marvel characters after I get done with live streams. So I have to do that next. But as soon as I said that, though, I did get a message from Art saying that we were about ready to go. Tony Bag of Donuts, how many friggin' accounts do you have, dude? I'm just impressed. More than anything. I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed. All right, I'm going to get through this a little bit quicker than normal, but that's just because I need to get to my other recording station.
My final drop of the...
Whoop! Sorry, that was a Ted Nivison video. Which is really good. You should go watch Ted Nivison on YouTube. So good. Just like sticking your head right into it's a little bit Hobbit areas in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, for sure. It's just great news. If I'm talking about like the way that it interacts with a palate, as far as mouthfeel goes, I think the whiskey helps to like extend the palate onto other parts of your tongue. But also, just it's just really good. All right, I gotta get out of here. Sorry to drop things so quickly, but I have responsibilities. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video if you haven't done so already. Share it, I guess. Subscribe to the channel. Support the show on Patreon. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. That gets you access to our Discord channel, which is our newest means of communication and a great way to stay up to date with all things TIMBP. We will see you real soon. Until next time, though, my name is Perry. And this is TIMBP Live. See you guys next week. Also, sorry about the green beer thing. Like I said, I couldn't find any green food calling.